Hey guys, my name's Andy Kearney, Junior Designer here at Bizarre Creations, and today I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak peek inside the studio. So if you'd like to follow me, I'll show you around. So down here is a bit of a memory lane of Bizarre. We've got all our old games that we've made and stuff, but today really is all about the MP Beta that we've got coming out in March. The MP Beta has got 4 separate tracks, 14 cars, ton of mods, ton of challenges. It's going to be great, so make sure you pick yourself up a key. But right now, I'm going to take you into the Blur core room where we're putting the final touches together on the game, and I'll introduce you to Chris Downey. He's the lead environment artist, and he'll be walking you through some of the art of the game and the assets and stuff. So come with me. So this is Chris. He's the lead environment artist on Blur, and I'll leave you in his capable hands.
Hello, I'm going to quickly talk to you today about how we've built the environments for Blur. It's a very different process to we've used before. We've generally taken real-world locations and copied them explicitly, but because of the gameplay of Blur, we've taken a totally different direction. And we've taken the real-world locations, but we've taken all their main features and changed any bits that don't work for us. So it's all kind of based on gameplay, really, and that's kind of the main focus. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you what I mean by that and show you some examples of how we've taken the real-world bits and kept them, and how we've changed some bits. So the example that I'm going to use is Sausalito, which is part of San Francisco. And if I just bring up an image here from Google, you can see that this red and yellow line is where our track goes. You've got the Golden Gate Bridge here, you've got a big freeway that goes through the middle, and then you've got all the roads, windy roads through the hills. You've got a drop down to the beach, and then you've got these beaches and rocks. So in reality, the beach uses this small section here, and then the rocks actually come out into the sea and blocks any path, so you can't actually get from each of these little areas. Obviously, we wanted to use this part of this environment because it gives beautiful views of the Golden Gate Bridge. So these are the pictures that we took while we were there, and as you can see, that's just a fantastic view that you'd love to have in any driving game. But obviously you can see that the rocks come out and there's no way through. So the way in which we dealt with that was we blasted a tunnel through the rocks. So as you can see, the comparisons of the real world photo and then the screenshot, we've got all the lovely fog coming down through the bay. We've got the beach as it is, we've got the water lapping up, and then we've got the tunnel that you can drive through, which we've just totally made up. And then as you come through the tunnel, you move on to the next beach, which is this little one here. And again, you've got the fog coming onto the beach, and you've got this archway that you can choose to either drive through by taking this path, or you can go between these two rocks and go through the water. But the whole time you're getting this magnificent view of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that's in the fore. So they were the kind of considerations that we had when we were building the environments. And it was all about taking the best bits of the location and really focusing on those to make, fantastic visuals as well as decent gameplay. So some more examples we have of that is this bunker building that we have here, which does actually sit just here. So we've got it in a very similar position, but when it was in its real world position, you couldn't actually see it because of this rise. And I'll just show you again the picture from that position. You can see that it's hidden from behind the bank. So we've just brought it forward because it adds interest to the area. So if you're driving around and you're just seeing this kind of stuff the whole time, the route's going to get quite boring quite quickly. So it's taking those really cool features and bringing them right into the player's viewport. And then also we have this wooded area in reality. We've decided to keep that because it's quite nice as you drop down from the high points down onto the beach and driving through the trees. The difference that we've made is there's quite a few sort of S-bends that go through those trees, and the kind of speeds that you're going at and all the other things that are going on the track at the same time, you're not going to have the concentration to take those bends properly. So what we've done, as you can see if I turn our route back on, is we've straightened that out and we've just made a little split in it to make it a little bit more interesting. And in game, this is what it looks like. And you've got all the leaves blowing through the trees, which kind of again shows you that it's a wooded section. And it splits off. And then taking that bunker theme again, we've actually put some more of those bunker buildings behind the trees just to make the whole thing a little bit more visually interesting, things breaking up so that it's not repetitive all the same time. If I just take you now back up onto the mountain roads and show you some pictures of what they're actually like. You can see there again, they're quite distinctive, but if you were racing for a mile or so just with this same kind of aesthetic to it, you'd soon get quite bored. So what we've done is we've added extra features. So we've got the cables coming in just to give that sense of speed and things constantly changing as you're driving. And then another cool feature that we've done is if we go back to the map, this kind of rounded bit here, we decided to put a shortcut through the mountain as if there was some kind of bunker installation there as well. And that's a little shortcut that you can smash through the doors and you can drive through and you can see where they've been creating some kind of little bunker or through the actual mountain, and then you jump out the other side. And that's just kind of made all of this area just that little bit more interesting from a visual and gameplay perspective. So that's how we've gone about building the environments for Blur, and we hope you enjoy them.
Hey guys, so next up I'm going to take you through to see the audio guys on Blur and check out some of the noise that we've got going on. So as you can see through here, we've got some of our cool accolades and awards and merits. Some of the, and down here, got the audio guys tucked away in the little soundproof rooms, beavering away night and day to create the real ambience and the sound of the game. And as you can see, we've got some really cool graph art on the walls as well. Just kind of lightens the place up a bit, makes it seem really cool and casual. Really great. So yeah, come with me. Hey guys. So now I'm going to turn you over to Nick and Mike, the head honchos for the audio on Blur. So I'll leave you in their capable hands.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. We're here today to show you how we've created some of the sounds for Blur and to focus in on some of the individual sounds we've created and how they're going to be put together for the game and implemented into the game. So we're going to start with the power-ups, which are the big feature of the game. We were given the brief to go for big Hollywood sounds. So we've used a lot of reference from sci-fi movies and films and created the sounds you're about to hear now. So first up, we've got nitrous. This gives you a speed boost, lets you go really quickly, but you can also use it as an air brake to slow the car down really, really quickly. And off you go again. Next on the list, we have shock, an electrical attack that attacks the leaders of the race. Then we have shunt, which is a homing projectile. As well as the fire sound, the projectile itself makes a sound. So if we fly down the track here, you can see that the sound itself makes a sound, moves around in 3D space, so you can tell exactly where it's coming from and hopefully use that information to avoid it coming to get you. Next up we have bolt, which works in the same way. It's a projectile attack, but a much quicker one. It doesn't home this time. As you can see here, if we fly down the track and let it come flying past, you can hear the projectile going past you, and again use that positional information to help you dodge it in the game. Next up we have Barge, which is a radius attack, attacks all the cars close to you, around you. Then we have the mines. These fire forwards or backwards and sit on the track. It's an ever-increasing ball of energy. The sound will build over time, and if you're unfortunate enough to drive through it, it will explode. Or it will explode at the end of the timer. You can repair your vehicle with another one of the power-ups. And one of the best audio effects for us is the shield. We consider the shield, as well as being a barrier against damage and collisions, it's a barrier against sound, so that the sound inside the shield is inaudible when you're in chase cam, so it mutes away the car sound. But if you go into bonnet cam, it mutes the sound outside the shield. So you can hear the sound of the road and the sound of the car, but not any of the environmental or AI car sounds as you race. We're just flying across the circuit now so we can show you one of the cool new technology features that we've added to the game, which is the ability to model reflection of sound from the in-game geometry. Now, what this does is, as you probably experience in real life, if you drive along a road and you drive close to a solid wall, the sound will reflect back and create a very unique sound. Now, what we've done in the game is we've created a system that allows us to detect where that object is and then model the sound traveling to that object and back to you again, delay the sound by the right amount and mix it back in with the correct positional information so that you will hear the sound reflect back off the wall. So here you can hear the sound reflecting back to the right side of the car, and then as you turn around and go back the other way, you'll hear the sound reflecting from the left side of the car. And it's fully accurately modelled from the sound that's playing from the car at that time. So one of the other features we wanted to add is that Hollywood moment in films where when you do a jump, the driver always comes off the throttle to give you that great deceleration sound before the landing. So we override that in the game to reproduce the effect. We also added a lot of our environmental sounds to the level. So on certain parts of this track we have a party taking place, which you can hear in full effect. And we also have, on the other side of the level, a big oil refinery with lots of big flames coming out of the top. So again, we've tried to model that, give you the sense of being in this space. Each level then has its own unique audible identity as well as visual identity. And finally, the cars themselves. Obviously we've tried to reproduce the sound of the car accurately, but to exaggerate that and make it bigger, more Hollywood. So we've recorded modified cars rather than stock cars, so that you get that big sound that you get from the modified engine and exhaust. And we've also spent a lot of time working on the wheel model, so that as you drive along the road you can hear the difference in surface types that you drive on, so you can move from asphalt onto dirt, onto gravel. You can hear the stones hitting the bodywork, and all the skids are modelled accurately as well, so you can really tell how your car is reacting to the world around you, and hopefully use that to your advantage in gameplay, because you can catch a skid before you lose control of the vehicle and hold it into a drift and earn more fans. The skids in the game are accurately modelled again. You can tell the surface that you're driving on, how the car is skidding in the game, and you can use that to your advantage for gameplay reasons, as you can tell how the car is skidding, when the car is losing traction, and use that hopefully to catch the skid and bring it back before you lose control of the car in the game.
Hi again, guys. So lastly, it's just the chill out area we've got at Bazaar. So this is where we wind down after a hard day's work. We've got plenty of free caffeine and sweets, and of course plenty of computer games for us to chill out on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole place. So yeah, make sure you pick yourselves up a copy of the Blur MP Beta. It's coming out in March. We've got 4 tracks, 14 vehicles, plenty of mods, plenty of challenges, loads of cool content, so make sure you pick up a copy. That's all from me, so cheers, see you later.